few months ago, I started looking into finding an iPad and I watched a lot of reviews before I could actually come to the decision of getting this device because I live in Europe and these things, American devices like products in general, they're very expensive outside of America. And so if I was going to commit to something as expensive as this, I wanted to make sure that it was going to be worth it. I'm a student. The reason why I needed an iPad was because I just got so tired of carrying around a lot of notebooks. I had semesters where I had like 15 courses. It was so hectic to always know which textbook is for what and all this. And I just felt like I was at a point in life where I could actually just not go through that and get an iPad. And so I did. But what I didn't know about the iPad is that a lot of the reviews that you get to watch online are from a technical perspective of people who barely use them enough to actually tell you the reality of using this device. I've been using it for the past 8 months, and within the first month of me getting this thing, believe it or not, I almost returned it. I was like, why does it have so many problems? Why is it always like, you know how you have expectations of this is what I'm going to do with this thing. You don't expect much from it, but it still somehow gets to disappoint you. That was my initial experience with the iPad. So today, I actually just want to briefly share a few of things that I got to dislike about this device over the 8 months that I have used it. For starters, the first thing that I actually really hated about the iPad is the operating system. I don't know why, but when I got it, it was so buggy. It was unresponsive, it was crashing. I just couldn't understand why that was because of the fact that I've used an iPhone for the longest time and I never had any problems like that. I mean, every once in a while it would freeze a little bit, but it was nothing as bad as it was on the iPad. The experience was not good for me. It was just too much and I felt like returning it because I spent a lot of money on this premium product. It's supposed to give me a premium experience. So that is something that I never really see a lot of tech YouTubers talk about, but I experienced it. If anybody out there experienced it, I would like to know if, what it was like. Now, we all know that the iPad is actually expensive, but what you do not know is the fact that a lot of the things that come with just owning an iPad also cost money. I'm not talking about the accessories. I'm talking about the actual apps that you're going to use for this, for any work that you want to do on this device. I'm talking about Procreate. If it's that app, you need to buy it right off the bat. Most of the apps do not have any freemium membership or whatever. They are behind the paywall. And I actually never knew this beforehand because on my phone, there's always almost an alternative for every app. But on the iPad, every alternative is the same as the one you're running from. You just have to pay for them. So that's something that I actually never really liked. And the reason for that is because of the fact that this device is very niche, which is the third point I wanted to talk about. The iPad is very boring, believe it or not. When I'm not using it for schoolwork, I barely use it. It's just on my desk. I just don't have any use for it. I've got my phone for social media. I've got my computer for serious work and games and whatever. It just feels more comfortable to do any sort of work between my phone and my laptop and not the iPad because it has a lot of compromise. It's hard to type on this thing. It's sort of hard to navigate. It just doesn't give you the full experience that you would have on your computer or on your phone. Now, of course, you can use accessories. I've heard people say you can get a keyboard, you can watch this. It's optional. It's actually not. Having a keyboard for this thing is not optional, especially if you don't have a laptop. This thing right here is just so hard to use without any like peripheral devices, especially when you want to search something, you want to type, you want to write something. Forget about using the keyboard because there is actually a keyboard. There's a big one which you have to use like this, and then the small one, it sort of limits you to this hand, but it's like you always have to tilt your iPad to use it. Another thing I would like to talk about is how this device is actually heavy. Yes, the iPad is actually heavy. It's not heavy as in this case compared to your laptop or whatever, but it has a significant weight that makes it hard to use it for certain things like gaming. The reason why I don't game on this device is because if you're playing any competitive online games like, I don't know, Call of Duty Mobile or whatever, it makes you slow. Like this device makes it so hard for you to be quick and fast because the movement is sort of it's the controls are a bit far apart, and it's just it takes a toll on your wrist. Like when you're when you game, holding this device in your hands for whatever reason is uncomfortable for whatever you want to do it for. It's just too big, and you can use it without a case, of course, because it reduces the weight. But it just sort of feels like, hey, you know what? I bought this thing for a lot of money, and I don't think it would be a good idea for me to drop it. Like, it just doesn't feel comfortable to hold without a case on, and that's just another problem. But yeah, using this iPod without a case on is a problem, but using it with case as weight, and the weight just makes it hard for you to do certain things. But that's just me. I don't know if it's a big deal to other people. The next thing on the list about the my frustrations with the iPod might not necessarily be something that really matters, but it does actually matter if you're somebody who takes notes on this thing. And my frustration is that it is so hard to use third-party styluses on this, like with this device. This is my stylus, the one that I have. I got it for like $10 or something like that, and it does work well. The battery lasts a couple of days. It's very good. It does everything well, except you know how like pressure sensitivity, right? You can program it to change colors and whatever. And when you're taking notes, because let's be honest, everyone who takes notes on the iPad only tries to take aesthetic notes. And for aesthetic notes, you have to change the colors very frequently. Like this, for instance, if you look at my notes right here, there's a lot of colors here. But when you're studying for long periods of time, believe it or not, this gesture of writing something, going to change your color here is so frustrating. Like, I don't like it. It seems something minimal, but I just personally do not like it. I didn't think it was a big deal until I noticed that I don't like doing this. It was like, I have to go here, change the color. And when you're studying, in like split view where there's two apps, this bar right here, like this bar right here, disappears. And so the extra movement becomes from move from 1 to 2, where you have to press this thing and look for the color and press it, you come back. It's not convenient. I don't like it. So having an actual Apple Pencil is something that I would highly recommend, because it's just, I guess, a better experience, but it's expensive. That's the problem. Now, there's actually 10 things that I wrote on the list, but I guess those are the most important things that I just don't like about the iPad. Have you had any frustrations or any problems with this device? Let me know. I'm curious to know. Anyways, thanks for watching.